It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show. The Dep Lewis Show. It's the Dep Lewis Show.
Welcome to the best show you'll ever know, the Dep Lewis Show, episode 103. This is your host, Dep Lewis, and today is Sunday, November 17th, 2024. A great day for a podcast about video games and more. So that is what we are here to do. Welcome to the show. I hope you're doing great out there in the world. Hope everything's been going your way. Hope all your wildest dreams have been coming true. Hope everything's been coming up roses and just been wonderful and outstanding in video games and everything else. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining another episode. The first order of business is to ask you to follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show available anywhere you can find a podcast. So find the best place to subscribe and listen weekly. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. Twitch.tv/DepLewisShow is a great place to follow. And then if you'd like to support the show even further than just listening, Patreon.com/DepLewisShow is available if you'd like to subscribe monthly. And then Venmo at Dep Lewis Show is available any day, anytime, for any amount if you'd like to support the show and my journey through the podcasting world. So for today's show, we're going to have our three sections as always. The first section will be what video games I've been playing personally since I've last talked to you on this microphone. The mid section, which is not mid in quality, is the video game news, video game happenings, releases, rumors, speculation. So keeping you up to date with the video game world. So I would say the mid section is the most important. And the third and final section is a break from all the video game talk. It's the Miscellaneous talk section where I can talk about anything I want to outside the video game world. So I usually get into the worldwide world of sports and tell you what's going on with all my favorite teams and keep you updated with that kind of drama. So that's the plan, and we are going to get into it. So, just welcome to the show once again. Let's get into the video games. So we're getting closer to the end of the year, having me doing all these game of the year thoughts and thinkings and rankings and whatever else. Just trying to think about these video games at the end of the year. And what have I been playing? I've been playing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So not a game from this year, but I've been playing a game from the past, and I've been enjoying it. I've never really gotten that far in Witcher 3. I'm getting close to the content that I haven't seen before. I've definitely been doing some more side missions than I have before, so that's been fun, but this game is really, really cool. It looks extra great these days. I'm playing on the Xbox Series X with the current gen upgrades and everything like that. It looks really, really great. So it's an impressive visually looking game now too. I think it was back in the day, but even more so, the game looks really, really amazing. It controls well, all that kind of good stuff. So it's been fun. What have I been doing? I'm in a mission. I've been missioning in the caves with a witch. So I solved that mission, and now I have to go do another mission for her. And I'm also was looking for witches in a bog, and I have found them, and they were pretty insane. I killed that thing in the cave that I wasn't sure if I was supposed to. I think that did something to all the poor children that were hanging out with the witches. So I think I caused some trouble here, but there are decisions in this game that you have to make quickly, and they can have effects on the world. So you don't have all the information. You kind of have to make a judgment call. And I did so in this cave, and I think it might have been the wrong one. But, there's some crazy stuff going on in this world. The Baron, I'm trying to help him out. He's insane as well. I'm trying to figure out where Ciri went, and nobody will give me the information unless I help them. So I just helped the Baron and on the Lubberkin mission, I believe it's called. So if you know what that's going on, I'm helping him with the Lubberkin and just completed that. So making some moves here in The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I've been getting the hang of the fighting. I think I am getting the hang of the fighting. I'm playing this game on easy because that's what I do, but the fighting is pretty fun, simple enough. You have some magical powers, which is nice. You have some abilities to do different things, but you can also just slice and dice, and you can dodge, and you can parry. And that's what I've been trying to get used to, the little bit of flow of strike, dodge, parry, strike, parry, dodge, all that kind of stuff. So, and throw some fire in there, things like that. Trying to make sure I'm not fighting enemies that are way above my level. That's the thing in this game too. You really want to be cognizant of the enemy level. So what else have I been liking about this game? Riding around on Roach is really, really fun. Roach is a great horse. It's great to ride around this world. Take the long route instead of fast traveling. I feel like you'll always bump into something is what I've been coming across in this game. And then I like riding around on the boat. So there's some relaxation stuff going on in this game. So I'm really giving this game a good shot, a good try. Something I've tried a couple times before. I really do love everything about it so far. I've loved everything about it since I've been playing it. It's just something I haven't pushed forward. So I have a lot of games like that, and it is the current one. So that's been the main game I've been playing this week for real. I've been playing a lot of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and having a great time with it. So that's my kind of Witcher 3 update. Really went off track here with some video games the last couple of weeks, playing some old stuff, and that is how it goes. All I gotta do is come here and report to you what I've been playing. So that's the whole plan here. So there's been another game I've been playing, something I have always had interest in, and I've wanted to play. I don't think I've ever even touched this game before, and that is Spyro, Reignited Trilogy. So another old game. This trilogy released in 2018 for the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Cloud Gaming, and Microsoft Windows. So running the full gamut of video games. This game is on sale right now if you're trying to pick it up digitally. I think it's $13 on Xbox and PlayStation I saw. And the news here is that this game is available on Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass for PC. So it's been available there as of November 12th, 2024. So that's how I've been playing some Spyro. So a game I've been going back and forth on, wanting to purchase, wanting to play, wanting to pick up, and I do have Game Pass at this moment, so the perfect opportunity arose to play some Spyro. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying it. So this is the game. It's developed by Toys for Bob and published by Activision. It is the first 3 games in the Spyro trilogy. It's normally $39.99 for this full price game, and it's on sale, for $13.99 on PSN and Xbox. I think Switch and Windows are still showing currently the full price. So if you're listening in real time, go check out the deals on some Spyro if you want to pick it up. And if you don't know about Spyro, Mr. Dragon, the iconic PlayStation platforming hero, is back and looking better than ever. Featuring the same smoldering attitude, Spyro Reignited Trilogy recreates the series' 3 biggest adventures, Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. And cranks up the visuals in stunning HD, explore a huge game world, face off against its fiery inhabitants, and relive the adventure in fully remastered glory because when there's a realm that needs saving, there's only one dragon to call. So it says they have cranked up the visuals. I gotta say the visuals do look good, but it is a little bit of a slower frame rate, I think, is the issue here. It takes a little bit of a time to adjust to playing this game, but I guess that's because it's an old game. I'm not really all the way sure. But I feel like when I first picked this game up, it has a little bit of not motion blur, but I think it's a frame rate thing. Or I think it's a frame rate limitation, maybe is what it's called. But other than that, the game runs great. The controls feel really good. That's a surprising thing for this being an old game. The platforming feels really, really tight and cool. You have a nice glide function. You can bop characters, run into them. You can shoot them with fire. So there's multiple ways to combat your enemies, which is nice. Sometimes you have to do them back to back in a row. So it adds a little bit of almost like a Crash Bandicoot kind of thing. So another franchise I'm trying to get into back in at some point. And I played a little bit of Crash, but it's a very, very fun game. So it's something I've been finding this pretty low stress, been jumping into it when I don't want to make progress in The Witcher 3, and it's been a really great game. I don't know if I'm going to pick it up. I kind of do want to pick it up since it's only $13. That's a really good deal, but it is on Game Pass, and Indiana Jones comes out next month, and I might want to play that on Game Pass, so maybe I'll just keep my Game Pass subscription going and seeing what kind of progress I can make here in Spyro. But it's been really, really fun, been nice to play, and I've been playing some older games this week. So Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and Spyro Reignited Trilogy, that's been the main things I've been playing. So been taking a break from new games, but I've still been getting my plans together for the game of the year. So, that's what I've been doing. It's also the year of the RPG on the Dep Lewis Show, so it's been a year of, extreme focus on the RPG genre and figuring out what I like about them and trying out some different ones and different styles and things like that, and been having a great time. So I think right now the RPGs in my rotation will be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Persona 5 Royal, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Super Mario RPG, Sea of Stars, Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and Baldur's Gate 3. So I think those are all the ones that I own that are currently in my RPG rotation. If I wanted to play one of these, I kind of need to pick one and move it along. But, I've been thinking about my gaming habits lately, and we're going to see what I can get into, going into the new year. But other games I've been playing besides RPGs have been Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Astrobot, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I'm still on a Zelda kick, maybe Zelda Echoes, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. So trying to play some stuff. So it's been year of the RPG on the Dep Lewis Show. I've been trying to think if next year is going to be a year of something. I was thinking year of the fighting game for a while, but now I'm a little bit thinking of year of the retro game. So I've been into watching some retro videos and things like that. I don't necessarily think I want to be a retro collector of any kind, but I think there could be some merit into playing some older games more often and trying to have a list of older games to play versus current games. So that's kind of what I've been getting into a little bit here with organizing myself for the end of the year. I'm getting ready for Game of the Year, which is going to be December 8th, 2024. That's going to be on a regular Sunday episode, but it's going to be anything but regular. It's going to be the Game of the Year show. It's going to be the Dep Lewis Show Awards for 2024. We're going to announce the best video game of the year. We're going to announce the best video game from a prior year, and thinking about some other categories as well. I haven't locked those in completely, but maybe do some best music, best character, favorite console of the year. I think could be a fun one, and maybe do my favorite other podcast as well. So I really do love podcasting. while I like podcasting, I like making this podcast, but I also like listening to podcasts a whole lot. So there's a whole bunch of those, and I might want to rank those at the end of the year just to highlight some other great podcasts. So that's kind of been my thoughts. I think yesterday I was doing some making a list and checking it twice of video games and trying to put together a retro list of retro games I want to play, and then have a current gen list of games going I want to play. So it's kind of where my mind's been going lately, trying to organize my video game thoughts and habits and desires and things like that. So finding some way to play through all these great games I have and great games I want to purchase. And those are kind of my current thoughts on it. So maybe I'll talk about that some more later on another episode, but just kind of wrapping up the year, trying to think about the video games and think about what I'm going to do moving forward. But it's the year of the RPG on the Dep Lewis Show, still playing some RPGs, and going to decide what the best video game of the year is by December 8th, 2024. So get ready for the Game of the Year Dep Lewis Show Awards 2024 coming December 8th, 2024. So that's going to wrap up this first section. That's the intro to the show. That's everything I've been playing. And that's a little bit of update on Game of the Year and just my general video game thoughts. So been a good week for video games. Next week's going to be a great week for video games, and just shout out to video games for being great fun and quality entertainment. So great job, video games. It's been fun playing you, and I'm going to keep playing you. And I'll be back next week in this section to tell you what I've been playing. It's going to wrap up this first section of the show. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back for the midsection where I tell you all the video game news, information, releases, rumors, speculation, and things you need to know about the video game world, so you don't want to miss it. Come right back after this music. Welcome back to the midsection of Dep Lewis Show, episode 103, where I tell you about what's going on in the video game world, everything you need to know. So the first thing I want to tell you about is a new version of a current product, and that is the Steam Deck OLED is now going to be selling a limited edition white console. It's going to be shipping in limited quantities, all the same specs as the Steam Deck OLED 1TB model, except it's going to be a white console, so it's going to be a limited edition color. It is going to come with an exclusive white carrying case and a white microfiber cleaning cloth. So it's just a little bit of a visual upgrade here. It's going to be available everywhere Steam Deck ships on November 18th, 2024. So that is tomorrow if you're listening in real time. 3 p.m. Pacific time is when these sales open up, and it's going to be $679. But it does come with a exclusive white carrying case and a white microfiber cleaning cloth. So nice to get a case with it. It is a powerful, portable PC gaming designed for comfort and a console-like user experience, if you haven't heard of this before. The other SKUs of this that I have currently is a 1TB OLED for $649, so a little bit cheaper if you just want the standard black version without the carrying case or the microfiber cloth. And the OLED, they're saying, is all the things you love about the Steam Deck now with an OLED screen, better battery life, faster Wi-Fi, and more. So there also is a 512GB OLED that's $549. And then there's still some LCD ones out there available, 256GB LCD, $399. And then there's a price drop consoles. There's a 512GB LCD for $449 and a 64GB LCD for $349. So a lot of options there on the Steam Deck OLED. And you can also buy a Steam Deck docking station if you want to connect your Steam Deck to external displays, wired networking, USB peripherals, and power. So that Steam Deck docking station will cost you $79. So some pretty expensive stuff. I think the Steam Deck looks really, really, really cool. I would love to have one. I just haven't decided to try to spend some money on it, but, with the other consoles I have. I think if I didn't have a console, maybe I'd be wanting to buy one. But I do think it's a really cool thing. I enjoy handheld gaming. I would like to play some more like AAA third-party games, non-Nintendo games on a handheld platform would be really, really cool. Play the stuff like The Witcher or Persona or Metaphor, all sorts of other games I like to play. It'd be cool to be playing them in handheld. I think it's cool you can hook it up to your TV. I think it's cool that it has seems so user-friendly using the Steam Deck OLED. And it's just something since it's been released I've been interested in having one, and something that I continue to have some interest in, especially with, with the way my video gaming habits are developing. I think the handheld stuff is pretty important and pretty fun. So Steam Deck OLED has a new edition, limited edition white. I gotta say, it looks really, really cool. And I will be jealous of anybody pre-ordering one of these on November 18th, 2024. So it looks pretty cool. Steam Deck OLED. Steam Deck's still going strong. Still looks like a really great console. I think the OLED screen is really impressive, especially playing that on my Switch. I would love to have a Steam Deck OLED, but there is a possibility, maybe I want to pick up one of these more inexpensive ones just so I can have the Steam Deck experience and see what I like about it. But I don't know. We have the emergence of the Switch 2, whatever that's going to be called, most likely coming next year. It's going to be an upgraded Switch. That should be able to run more third-party stuff more appropriately, which is what you would want. So I think maybe in a little bit of a waiting pattern, but I definitely think about buying a Steam Deck from time to time, and I will continue to do so. So what else has been going on? Let's talk about some video game releases and some updates to some video games. So just a reminder that Tetris Forever has been released. This released last week, November 12th, 2024 for Nintendo Switch, PS5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. Tetris Forever will run you $34.99 US, celebrating 40 captivating years of Tetris, includes more than 15 playable classic Tetris games and an all-new Tetris game, Tetris Time Warp. So I think the only knock on this game is there's no Tetris games past the year 2000 in this package, I think is what I read. But it's a little bit more of the older historical Tetris games, and it does have some cool documentary stuff in there, which seems interesting, where it'll tell you about the development of the game and then go right into playing a certain portion or playing the full portion of the game. So I think it's a cool package and cool experience, kind of like that Atari collection. It's really just kind of showing off the history of Tetris and giving you some more deep dives into there. And it has 15 playable games, has a new game in there, so I would say it's a pretty stout package for $34.99. You're getting a lot of different games in there. Tetris is a pretty timeless thing, but it would be cool to have some type of real big comprehensive collection of all the Tetris games in one. And maybe that's something they'll get to in the future. Maybe it's too complicated based on ownership of the game and licensing and things like that. Who knows? But Tetris Forever is a video game that is available right now. I definitely have some interest in purchasing it, but maybe down the road when it's on a little bit of a sale is kind of my thought. All right, Sea of Stars is a video game. It's a 2023 RPG from developer Sabotage Studio. And the news here is that the Dawn of Equinox update has released. This released on November 12th, 2024. It is a major update featuring couch co-op, combat 2.0, and a bunch of fan-requested additions. It's now available for free on all platforms. And so they're telling us we ultimately see Dawn of Equinox as a community's gift to us. The overwhelming support you've all shown us ever since we first announced Sea of Stars helped give our team the chance to return to the project and present a refined version of it, including everything we ever hoped this adventure to be. Thanks. So I think that's a very nice sentiment, a very nice thing. I think they released a good game originally, and then they took some more time to fully flesh it out, to fully realize the game they wanted to send to people. So I think that's pretty cool. Hold on one second here. Sorry about that little break. I am back talking about Sea of Stars. We were talking about the Dawn of Equinox update, and I was talking about how it's cool that they released a great game originally, and then they took some more time after the fact. I guess the sales or whatever was good enough to warrant this, and they went and updated to a refined version of it, including everything they ever hoped the adventure to be. So I think that's pretty cool. I know these video games have to have time constraints, but it's nice when they can put out a good product. Maybe they haven't been able to put everything they want to in the game, but the game has some success, and they're able to do so. So it comes out like as a director's cut or Game of the Year edition. So I think that is what a lot of games hope for. But Sea of Stars is available on Nintendo Switch, PS5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Microsoft Windows. One thing I read about this that's interesting, it's set thousands of years before Sabotage Studios' game The Messenger, which was something I played and thought was a really cool game from many, many years past. The normal price of Sea of Stars is $34.99 US, so not a full price game, but it looks like some sales are going on right now digitally, so a good time to pick it up. In the game, if you don't know, you embark on a journey of peril and wonder as a solstice warrior in this turn-based RPG inspired by the classics. It tells the story of two children of the solstice who combine the powers of the sun and moon to perform eclipse magic, the only force capable of fighting off the monstrous creations of an evil alchemist known as the Fleshmancer. So Sea of Stars, Dawn of Equinox is available right now for free. And then the other news for Sea of Stars, well, the other thing to remind you about is their DLC, The Throes of the Watchmaker, will launch for free in spring of 2025. So in this Throes of the Watchmaker, find the Solstice Warriors Valerie and Zale venturing into the miniature clockwork world of Horloge. I guess that's how you say Horloge. In this magical land where denizens are threatened by a cursed carnival, our heroes will need to adapt to the unfamiliar rules if their sun and moon powers are to manifest. So Sea of Stars, Dawn of Equinox update available right now. All right, another game that's been released, something that I think looks very cool, is Dragon Quest III HD 2D. It released on November 14th, 2024 for Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Microsoft Windows. It is $59.99 US. It's a stunning reimagining of the beloved masterpiece and narrative beginning to the Erdrick Trilogy. The back of the box talk is years ago, the great hero Ortega bid farewell to his wife and child as he set off on a quest to defeat the villainous archfiend Baramos. Ortega failed his quest, and Baramos still threatens the world. Now on their 16th birthday, Ortega's only child is summoned by the king of Alihan, Alihan, and entrusted with a mission of the highest import, to take on Ortega's quest, vanquish Baramos, and save the world. So this game looks very, very cool. I think all the stuff I've heard about this is they delivered what they were intending to. I think this game seems a little bit... I think the only thing I've heard about this game is a little bit less of a complex RPG than you might think or expect. They were saying the characters aren't so deep. The story's not so deep. It's more about the world, the visuals, a little bit of the charm to the game, and then the actual battling and mechanics of the world. So it's a little bit more focused on kind of the bare bones RPG stuff, but it sounds like it's doing that very well. I like the charm aspect of this game. I think the art style and stuff looks very cool and like sometimes like kind of cute, but pretty much kind of like cool, just a relaxing kind of. The colors are pleasant. I think it looks like a really, really enjoyable game. So this is something that's on my radar. I mentioned my large RPG list early on in the show, so I might not be picking up RPGs at this point, but this could be something. If it goes on sale, I'll try to add it to my backlog, or maybe I'll just pick it up on a random day if I feel like it. But it looks like a cool game. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. I think Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D are coming later. So this is the first game in like canon chronological order. So if you want to, that's why they're releasing the third one first. So if you're wondering where the first two are, they're still coming. This is the first one story-wise in this Erdrick trilogy, as they call it. So Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D is available right now. All right, something else that released on the same day, 11/14/2024, is Lego Horizon Adventures. So this is released for Nintendo Switch, PS5, and Microsoft Windows. So this is a normal PlayStation franchise coming to a multi-platform. So at release, that's kind of a new development. This is developed by Guerrilla Games and Studio Gobo in association with the Lego Group, published by Sony Interactive Entertainment (SIE). It is $59.99 US, a full-price game. Some heroes are built different. Join Machine Hunter Aloy as she leads a colorful crew of heroes through the lush wilderness on a quest to save the world and learn secrets of her past. Dive into the boundless adventure customized to your heart's content and take on action-packed battles solo or with friends. Explore the much-loved world of Horizon and come face-to-face with the game's awe-inspiring machines, all faithfully recreated in Lego bricks. Experience thrilling online and couch co-op action with friends and family. Customize your home and your characters for Lego and Horizons fans, new and old. So I was watching a streamer, podcaster, video game person, Janet Garcia, and Isaiah, which is her, I guess it's her boyfriend, fiance, husband, I'm not sure. But they were playing this game, couch co-op. It looked very fun. I've heard this game is pretty good. I don't think this is Game of the Year contender for anybody, but I hear this is for people who like Horizon, for people who like Legos, and then maybe people who just like one or the other will end up liking the other thing. So I think it's seeming like a good game. I think this one's a little more skewed to the older crowd is what I'm hearing. More so you think of Lego as a younger crowd. I think this one has a little more complexity to it is from what I've determined, but it seems like a great Lego game. I don't think I've ever completed a Lego game. I played a few of them over the time. I don't have a huge affinity for Legos in general. I think they look kind of cool and stuff. And in these video game forms, I think Legos I think they're cool, but just something I've never really been into. And Horizon is something I'd like to play the original franchise. That's something I would probably do before playing Lego Horizon Adventures. But if you're looking for some more Horizon fun, this is a good game to do so. And if you're looking for some more Lego fun, so covering two markets there. So Lego Horizon Adventures available right now. All right, more video game news. Fortnite got an official confirmation, something we talked about in a previous episode as a rumor and speculation, but it's official. OG is coming back and is here to stay. So relive Battle Royale from the start and explore the OG map, collect OG loot, and relive OG seasons. Drop back in on December 6, 2024. So that's the news there. Fortnite OG is really permanently returning in December. And the other thing I saw about Fortnite is they have some Ice Spice skins going on. So if you're a big fan of Ice Spice and all the work that she does, you can play as Ice Spice in Fortnite now. So the never-ending addition of characters and randomness to Fortnite has continued, and I think that's a little bit of the Fortnite charm, as we're going to say charm again today. All right, another game that seems very charming is Fields of Mistria. It's receiving its first major update on November 18th, 2024, so just want to remind you of that. There's updates to villagers and romance, mines and dungeons, town and renown, skills and perks, and customization and cosmetics. You can see the patch notes for full details on release day, and there's also lots of updates if you go. Lots of updates in those categories I mentioned. I just didn't list them all, so go check out their social media. Shout out Sauropods. They're a great social media manager and just great internet person in general. So I always I want to try to highlight people I like out there. So Sauropods, social media manager of Fields of Mistria. So go check out her great work and contributions to the team. This game was developed by NPC Studio. It's in early access still, which began August 2024. You can pick this game up for $13.99. On the back of the box talk is start your new life, build the farm of your dreams as you discover a world brimming with possibilities. Magic, romance, and adventure all await you in this nostalgic farming life sim RPG. So I just want to make you aware that the first major update to Fields of Mistria, it takes place tomorrow if you're listening in real time on November 18th, 2024. All right, what else I got for you? Another game, The Rogue Prince of Persia. This is something that I wasn't really familiar with. We got the Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown earlier in the year. I played some of the demo of that and enjoyed it. But this was another game that released earlier in the year in the Prince of Persia franchise, The Rogue Prince of Persia. It released in May 2024 for Microsoft Windows and GeForce Now. So that's a little bit of the reason I haven't been able to play it. I'm not able to play Microsoft Windows games in any fashion. I have a Mac laptop. If I had a Steam Deck, I could maybe check this out. But I have to play things. If I want to play something computer on Windows, it has to be on the Mac side of things. And I would say most of the time games aren't on the Mac side of things right away. But The Rogue Prince of Persia, developed by Evil Empire. I think I said it was $19.99 US, so not a full price game. Jump into this action platformer roguelite and flow seamlessly between death-defying platforming and acrobatic combat as you battle through the capital city with one goal: save Persia and your family from a Hun invasion wielding dark magic. Major changes on 11/21/2024, titled The Second Act. So there's a big update coming to this game. That's the news here. So this game's been in early access, and there's a major update coming on 11/21/2024. It's titled The Second Act. There's going to be new biomes, bosses, narrative, and art. Nearly a new roguelite. Think you can handle the change is what they're asking? I don't know. But it looks cool. The art style of Prince of Persia is always very high quality, and if they made a good roguelite here, I think that's fun. I think roguelites hit a little bit of a saturation point. I think everyone was kind of doing them at one point, so now there's kind of a million of them out there. Not saying that it's too much of a bad thing, but it would be kind of impossible to play them all, and you got to kind of pick and choose at this point. But this seems like a good one, and The Rogue Prince of Persia is available right now. All right, another video game, Stellar Blade. It released in April earlier in the year, 2024 for PS5. It is $69.99 US. Developer is the Shift Up Corporation. The news here is this game is coming to PC in 2025. So as we're seeing with a lot of console exclusives, they're coming to PC at some point in the future. And that's the case here with Stellar Blade. So if you don't know about Stellar Blade, the future of humanity hangs in the balance in Stellar Blade, an all-new story-driven action-adventure on PS5. Ravaged by strange, powerful creatures, Earth has been abandoned, and what is left of the decimated human race has fled to a colony in outer space. After traveling from the colony, 7th Airborne Squad member Eve arrives on the desolate remains of our planet with a clear-cut mission to save humankind by reclaiming Earth from the Natiba, the malevolent force that has devastated it. But as Eve tackles the Natiba one by one, piecing together the mysteries of the past and the ruins of human civilization, she realizes that her mission is far from straightforward. In fact, almost nothing is as it seems. So Stellar Blade, I played the demo here. There's the demo available. The demo is very fun and very cool. I just don't know how dedicated I can be to a complicated combat game, but I think there was difficulty levels in this. I'm not sure if I'm remembering that correctly, but this game should look really, really beautiful on the PS5. I mean, on the PC. It looks already really great on the PS5 and is coming to PC in 2025. So no official date or anything like that, but Stellar Blade coming to PC next year is the news. All right, another video game. This one, the pre-orders are now open, so that's kind of the news here. This game's called Avowed. So we've talked about this on the show before. The Welcome to Living Lands, a mysterious island filled with adventure and danger. Can you save the island and your soul from the forces threatening to tear them apart? So Avowed will be available February 18th, 2025 for Xbox Series X and S, PC, and cloud. And you can also play day one with Game Pass. So the news here is Avowed pre-orders are now open. You can pre-order the premium edition now and get 5 days of early access, which I do not recommend you do, unless this is going to be like the one video game you buy a year, or the one video game you're looking forward to. It seems a little bit crazy to spend the extra money to get the early access to me, but that'll cost you $89.99 US. The standard edition is $69.99 US. And like I said, you can play this if you are a Game Pass subscriber. It's probably their highest tier on Game Pass, but still a nice perk to play Avowed. From Obsidian Entertainment and set in the fictional world of Eora. that was first introduced to players in the Pillars of Eternity franchise. Avowed is a first-person action RPG. Welcome to the living lands, a mysterious island filled with adventure and danger. You are the envoy of Aedyr, Aedyr, a distant land, sent to investigate rumors of a spreading plague throughout the living lands. An island full of mysteries and secrets, danger and adventure, choices and consequences, and untamed wilderness. You discover a personal connection to the living lands and an ancient secret that threatens to destroy everything. Can you save this unknown frontier and your soul from the forces threatening to tear them asunder? You don't want to be you don't want your forces to be threatened to be teared them asunder. You don't want to be asunder. But Avowed, I kind of don't think this looks good. I think it looks a little bit different. Definitely looks interesting. Definitely has some things that make me want to be interested in being developed by Obsidian, but it just has kind of a weird look to it. It almost looks like a virtual reality game to me with the first-person perspective. But I just think, I don't know if I've played a first-person game in a long time that's really tripped my trigger. So maybe that's just a little bit of the apprehension here. It's just a little bit of an unusual unfamiliarity of seeing something like this in a while. But I think there's some reason for some apprehension here. But Avowed seeming to be pretty good. Coming out in February of next year, February 18th, 2025, and pre-orders are open right now. So keeping this on your radar. All right, what else is going on? A couple more kind of general updates here around the video game world. Some Xbox updates. Microsoft has confirmed plans to release an Xbox handheld, but it's years away from Phil Spencer. So, I was excited to hear this news. I would be really, really game and interested in buying a Microsoft handheld. Like I was saying earlier, I really would be interested in buying a Steam Deck. And I think the good news here is we're going to be seeing more options going forward for handheld stuff. So I think a little bit of the question here is waiting on the Switch 2, because maybe that'll suffice for playing some more third-party, kind of running some other games outside of Nintendo, better. And that could kind of satisfy all my handheld needs, which is what I'm kind of thinking right now. But I would like to have one of these handhelds. I've been learning, looking over my video games, that I have a large digital Xbox game library. So having a handheld would be really, really cool in that regard. So really interested. I don't know how much it would be. There's a lot of different handhelds being released and coming out, and one's out there already. So, just excited to see. I would love to see one from Microsoft, from Xbox themselves. And something I'm interested in and we'll be keeping you up to date and myself here on the Dep Lewis Show. So a couple more Xbox updates, all kind of from the same, I guess it was like an investor call or something like that. But Phil Spencer also has said there are no red lines for which games will come to PlayStation. So, that has people thinking of Starfield, Gears, Halo Infinite. I saw a few examples of these with PS5 box art out there. People have photoshopped them or whatever. Just looking very interesting. And I think this is the way of the world. I don't know if your console is that important anymore, which one you have or what you can play. Maybe you'll just have to wait a little bit longer. I think thinking about it, that's the only thing with the consoles these days is maybe you can play something earlier than some other people will be able to. So I think it's a good thing overall for someone who has a giant backlog, doesn't always play things right when they come out, and it seems like the way of the world, you might want to wait to play a lot of games until later, after they release, they get updates and things like that really improve the game experience. So might be a decent time to wait for some games. And Phil Spencer saying there's no red lines, we can really see the lines get blurred here. And then also Microsoft is still looking for acquisitions in the gaming space. I don't think that's really any surprise to people, besides they've done a lot of acquisitions in the huge Activision Blizzard acquisition. But I would still expect them to do some more. And that's kind of I think there was a line or so in the article saying they're still out there looking for opportunities, but I guarantee they're always going to be saying that unless their company just hits really, really hard times, which I don't believe will be the case. All right, that's all the Xbox updates I have for you. And then the last update is there was a Super Nintendo World Direct. So not like the usual video game Direct. This one is about Donkey Kong Country, which is a video game. But they are showcasing Donkey Kong Country of Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan. So no game information will be featured during this presentation, or no game information was featured during this presentation. It happened on 11/11/2024. It's upload to YouTube, around 11 minutes in length if you want to go watch it. Already over 1 million views. But the Donkey Kong Country of Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan is set to open December 11th, 2024. So that's the news here at Universal Studios Japan, with the version of Super Nintendo World in Florida also featuring the area when it opens in 2025. Just a couple things here. I'm not really interested in rides or roller coasters or theme parks, but I think seeing something like Super Nintendo World could be kind of cool one day. I think it'd be cool to go to the Nintendo store. That's kind of something I have in my mind, or even go to that Nintendo museum that's in Japan. I think some of those kind of things would be cooler to me. But I know a lot of people are going to enjoy these theme parks or whatever they may be. I think these are huge sellers, a huge focus of their business, and I think it's pretty cool. They're getting a Donkey Kong Country section. In Osaka, Japan is where the Universal Studios Japan is located. It's going to be a Minecart Madness roller coaster, which will simulate the rail jumping action of the original game for the Super Nintendo. And then also Super Nintendo World in general is approaching its 4th anniversary in Japan, having originally opened in December 2020. So just keeping you up to date with their pretty good stuff for Nintendo across the board. Diversifying what they do and seeming to do pretty great at all of them. So Super Nintendo World Direct, Donkey Kong Country, available right now if you want to go watch that. And you can actually go to the studios in Japan, December 11th, 2024. So that is all the news I have for you today around the video game world. I'm going to recap what we talked about. We talked about the Steam Deck OLED, the limited edition white console is available for purchase on November 18th. We talked about Tetris Forever is available right now. Sea of Stars, Dawn of Equinox update is available right now. Dragon Quest III HD 2D is available right now. Lego Horizon Adventures available right now. Fortnite OG is officially returning December 6th, 2024. Fields of Mistria is getting its first major update 11/18/2024 in the upcoming week. The Rogue Prince of Persia is getting a major change update on November 21st, 2024. Stellar Blade's coming to PC in 2025. Avowed pre-orders available right now. It comes out on February 18th, 2025. We talked about some Xbox news and rumors and speculation. So they're confirming a handheld is coming. No red lines for Xbox games coming to PlayStation. And Microsoft is still looking for some acquisitions. And then we talked about the Super Nintendo World Donkey Kong Country Direct, which showcases Donkey Kong Country of Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Japan. So that's all the video game news I have for you today. Come back next week for all the video game news you need to know, because that's what I do every week. And just thank you for listening to all this video game talk. So we're going to take one final break. We're going to come back for the Miscellaneous Talk section, where I can talk about anything I want to outside the video game world. So come along for the ride. The Miscellaneous Talk section is usually short and sweet, going over my favorite teams across the worldwide world of sports and keeping you up to date with all the drama of my sports fandom. So listen to this music and come right back for the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 103, after this. Welcome back to the final section of Dep Lewis Show, episode 103, the Miscellaneous Talk section, where I can talk about anything I want to outside the video game world. So I want to get into the worldwide world of sports, as I always do, and tell you what's going on with my favorite teams. Let's start off with the Carolina Panthers. So last week during the podcast, I was actually watching the game while recording the podcast because the Panthers were playing in the morning over in Germany. So the result of that was the Panthers won. Can you believe it? 20-17. So the Panthers won last week. Bryce was 15-25, 126 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 sack for 8 yards. Bryce also had 2 rushes for 30 yards total, so a pretty good game from him there, managing the game well and getting them to the W. Chuba had 28 carries, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, along a 26, so a great effort after getting his contract extension, so way to go, Chuba. Jalen Coker had 3 catches for 41 yards. Xavier Legette also had 3 catches for 40, so spreading out there to some of the young receivers. And then Jatavian Sanders had a touchdown catch. So some really good stuff from the young core of receiving hands on the Panthers. J.C. Horn and Xavier Woods led the team in tackles with 8. Ashawn Robinson and Trevin Wallace next with 7 total tackles. Ashawn also had a sack, and so did DJ Wanham. The Panthers have won 2 in a row. They're now 3-7 after Germany. And this week, the Panthers are resting, so they're having a bye this week. So no Panthers football to watch today. So I'm up early recording this podcast, and I have no Panthers football to watch today. So pretty disappointing. I have a 3-leg parlay going on for some other teams, so hopefully you can get a hit there. Please gamble responsibly. And the next Panthers game is a home game versus the Chiefs on November 24th at 1 p.m. So next weekend, those tickets are looking a little bit pricey, so I don't know if I'm going to be in the building, but ready to watch the Panthers take on the Chiefs. I think that's going to be a good measuring stick for where the Panthers really are with their team and roster and coaching staff and all that kind of stuff at the moment. So pretty nice to see the Panthers get 2 wins. I think a little bit of the story's changing on the Panthers. I think we're seeing a little bit of hope, seeing a little bit of a design here with some of the young guys and seeing a little bit of the vision, and hopefully going to see that vision come to fruition in the future. So way to go, Panthers. You've been doing great. Excited about the 2-game win streak. Excited about some of the stuff going on, some of the young guys, and making it a little bit easier to have a favorite Panther. So I've been looking at Fanatics jerseys a little bit back on there. So I think that's a good sign of things going on, things going a little bit better in the Panthers world, where I'm out there looking for sports gear because I love buying some sports gear. It's one of the most exciting. It's just a very exciting purchase out there, buying jerseys and shirts and hats and stuff like that and looking at them. So it's fun to be able to be considering a jersey purchase again for the Panthers. So what else is going on with my favorite team? So no Panthers football today. Be back next week. First the Chiefs. In the NBA, I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan since I live in North Carolina. So since I've last talked to you, they played at Philly last Sunday. The Hornets lost 105-107 in overtime. Tuesday, the Hornets lost 89-114 to the Magic. So a pretty big drumming right there. But the positive news after that was LaMelo's been averaging 29 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, and 1 steal a game. So that was before last night's game, which was pretty similar. Yesterday, the Hornets played at home in Charlotte versus the Bucks. The Hornets won 115-114. I considered going to this, but it looked pretty crowded, and the tickets were a little bit up on it too. But would have been a great game. I kind of expected the Bucks to win, but the Hornets have been pretty feisty. So LaMelo had 26 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and was 11-11 from the free throw line. So LaMelo really showing out, really carrying this team on his back, and making the Hornets interesting. So hopefully he can stay healthy would be my thoughts there. The Hornets play the Cavs today in Cleveland, and then next week they got Brooklyn, Detroit, and Milwaukee. But my favorite NBA team is the Atlanta Hawks. Since I've last talked to you, the Hawks beat the Celtics last Tuesday without Trey. They won 117-116, a pretty great finish. Friday versus the Wizards, the Hawks won 129-117. Trey was back. Dyson Daniels has been really going off. He's been such a great addition coming over in that trade for DeJounte Murray. The Hawks play at Portland today, so that should be a dub. And then next week they got Sacramento, Golden State, and Chicago. So some tough matchups there, but the Hawks have been trying to get it together. So really nice to see some of the new additions going off. Dyson Daniels playing really well. Need to get Trey back there in the mix and really just get the team rolling. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Hawks. I'm really enjoying the roster, and I'm even enjoying the roster without Trey. So I think the Hawks can kind of go one of two ways, and I don't know which one they're going to choose. But I'm a Trey fan. I think he works well. I think you just got to kind of figure out the roster and the coaching and stuff around him and get him to, play well too. But I really like the core of players they have, and, go Hawks. All right, the last thing I want to cover in the sports world is my favorite team in the Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves. It's the offseason for them, but there's been some offseason stuff going down, so I want to tell you about that. Chris Sale, the great pitcher we traded for or picked up, was named to the All-MLB first team, and he was the NL Comeback Player of the Year. So our acquisition or signing of Chris Sale could not have gone any better, and we're going to get another hopefully great year of that upcoming in the future. But the Braves have, so he was really one of the big highlights of the season, Chris Sale. I know he's an older pitcher, but he really came in and did his thing and put his stamp on the Braves. So way to go, Chris Sale, and what a wonderful pickup from Alex Anthopoulos. So hopefully another wonderful pickup will be Nick Allen, the new Atlanta Brave. He's been acquired from the Athletics in exchange for minor league right-handed pitcher Jared Johnson. Jared Johnson was drafted by the Braves in 2019. I think the highest level he's appeared in was high A Rome, so I don't know if he's panned out if they haven't given him enough time, but it seems like a pretty good exchange here to get Nick Allen. Nick Allen has primarily played shortstop, but it may be a utility piece for the Braves. He's been a high prospect for the A's for a while, but hasn't fully translated to MLB yet. Been up and down for the last 3 seasons. He should have good defense, but maybe his bat can catch up to his glove is what people are saying, and that would be what the Braves would hope. So it seems like a pretty good addition, maybe a low-cost kind of a high-ceiling kind of approach to this pickup, and something we could definitely use with trying to figure out some pieces on the roster. I think shortstop could use an upgrade with the bat for sure. There's a few other positions that could use an upgrade as well, some outfield stuff. And, well, I think we might need to pick up a backup or, bring someone up for this next position because Travis d'Arnaud, our backup kind of platoon catcher, has signed a 2-year, $20 million contract with the Los Angeles Angels. So going out there to hang with Ron Washington. Alex Anthopoulos, his kind of thoughts on this were from when the offseason ended to when we needed to make the decision about Travis d'Arnaud, things had changed for us. We got a little more clarity on Acuna and when he would be back and when we were able to rule out and when they got a little more clarity on Acuna and when he would be back, and we were able to rule out opening day for Acuna. Strider the same way. We were able to rule out opening day. Joe Jimenez obviously had surgery, and he'll be out until at least All-Star break. It could be the season. So there's been a dramatic shift in team composition, and funds must be reallocated to the relief corps rotation in the outfield that it could have been used on d'Arnaud. So trying to allocate some resources differently, maybe let Sean Murphy step up into the really dominant number one catcher on our team. Maybe play 70% of the outings or something like that. So we got to get somebody in there behind him, or call somebody up to play behind him who's less expensive, I guess is the thought here. But Travis d'Arnaud is a wonderful Atlanta Brave. We'll definitely miss him. We'll definitely be one of those guys you see playing on another team and still have fondness for him. And there's a good bit of people like that across the league. And this one you can't be too mad about. He's going to get some money. He's going out there with Washington. I think Travis is from the West Coast, but I'm not sure about that. But definitely will miss you, Travis d'Arnaud. Would have been a luxury to keep you around, but we got to really rely on Sean Murphy and see what he can do back there solo. All right, some more Braves news. Charlie Morton, who is no longer a Brave, but has been a Brave for the last couple of years. He says he's planning to pitch in 2025, and he's an unrestricted free agent. I think the Braves should try to bring him back if they can, if they can get some type of good deal on him. But Charlie Morton, I think it's a great thing that he's going to be pitching. He's been another wonderful Atlanta Brave, an older pitcher coming in and really, doing work and being a great addition to the team and really showing that the old guys can still pitch out here. So something nice to see, being an older guy myself. But one of our younger, kind of getting into the older guy territory. Well, he's not older. He's right at 30. Max Fried. He's an unrestricted free agent. I just want to say I think the Braves should pay him, should sign him. They've been talking about other things like picking up Walker Buehler. I think you should just pay Max Fried. He's been on the team this whole time, and he's a great pitcher. He's a great clubhouse guy. He's smart. He's still young, still in the prime of his career, and the Braves don't generally pay people, and I think they should pay Max Fried. Your starting rotation is of utmost important. We have some older guys in our rotation, and we need to pay Max Fried to keep him there with Spencer Strider and others for the long term, and that would be my Braves wish. And I just want to keep saying that every week on this show until something has been decided about Max Fried. So, Alex Anthopoulos, please play Max Fried. Please overpay him. Please just keep him on the roster and, bolster and keep our pitching rotation what it should be. That's my advice there. So, rumors going out there about Walker Buehler coming to the Braves, about wanting to pay him, or Willy Adames, which I think is a great addition as well. I'd be happy to get Walker Buehler, but I'd be more happy to keep Max Fried, is kind of my thoughts there. For other news on the Braves, spring training begins February 22nd, 2025, the first regular game of the season. First game of the regular season at the Padres, March 27, 2025, so I cannot wait for that. And, just getting ready for the winter of baseball rumors, speculation, free agency, and all that kind of stuff. That's all we have to look forward to until actual baseball begins in March. So, love you, baseball. I'm going to miss you, Travis d'Arnaud. And welcome to the team, Nick Allen. And hopefully we can keep Charlie Morton and Max Fried around. That'd be really nice. And then also pick up Walker Buehler and Willy Adames and maybe some more. So, go Braves and go all my favorite sports teams. I'm going to be a fan regardless, and I will keep you updated with what's going on with my fandom each week here on the Dep Lewis Show in the Miscellaneous Talk section. So we talked about the Carolina Panthers, who are off today. No game for them. It's a bye week. Back next week with the Chiefs. The Hornets are playing the Cavs today, and the Hawks are playing Portland today, and the Braves are in the offseason trying to make some moves. So that's everything I have for you in the Miscellaneous Talk section, and that's everything I have for you on the entire Dep Lewis Show, episode 103. So thank you for listening. I want to reiterate some promotional talk from the beginning to please help me out. Please follow Dep Lewis Show everywhere if you haven't done so. Full episodes of Dep Lewis Show available anywhere you can find a podcast, so find the best place to subscribe and listen weekly. Places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Amazon Music, and more. Twitch.tv/Dep Lewis Show is a great place to follow. And if you'd like to support the show even further than just listening, Patreon.com/Dep Lewis Show is available if you would like to subscribe monthly. And then also Venmo at Dep Lewis Show is available any day, anytime, for any amount if you'd like to support this show. So just thank you for listening. Thank you for all you do. Hope you have a wonderful week out there in the world. Hope you go on vacation. I hope you get a raise at your job. Hope you get some new video games. Hope you get a new pet. I hope you eat something good. Hope you win the lottery. I just hope something great happens to you out there in the world. Hope everything goes good. I hope your sports teams win. Hope you get a new video game. And I hope you come back next week for another episode of the Dep Lewis Show, because that's where I'll be. Thank you for listening to episode 103. I'll be back next week for episode 104. Have a great time video gaming out there, and just have a great time. And I'll see you next week on the Dep Lewis Show.